Hey everyone, welcome. I wanted to offer just a quick flow class, and this is just an opportunity like when your kids maybe are in a Zoom or when you have a break from work, you can just get on your mat for maybe 20 minutes, get the blood flow happening, and just start to feel that release of tension in the body. So this is just a quick practice. It is a flow type practice. If you're newer to yoga, modify any way that feels comfortable. Feel free to just rest in child's pose. Do what feels good for your body. So the whole point of this is to really connect with your body, but also to connect with your breath. So if the poses are not accessible for you right now, either use props or just hang out in child's pose. So we're gonna start in child's pose. Now, props for child's pose, you can have a blanket or something to support the back of your legs. You can have a bolster to support your mid-body. So if that feels good, whenever you're ready, knees will separate, big toes touch, and just let your chest melt towards your mat. Feel your belly start to rest in between your thighs. Forehead releases towards the mat. And then just start to focus on your breath. So starting to breathe in through the nose and back out through the nose as well. Start to sense your breath slowing down. Feel your whole belly fill up on the inhales. Whole belly softens on the exhales. And from here, just start to roll the forehead softly side to side. Start to create a little bit more movement. Let the hips rock side to side with the forehead. Come back into the center. Take an inhale. Crawl your fingers out nice and long. On the exhale, walk your hands over to the right side of your mat, stretching through the left fingertips. Feel your left hip pressing back towards your left heel. Go ahead and come back into the center. Take a nice deep inhale in the center. Exhale, opposite direction. Hands walk over to the left, really crawling the right fingertips away. Right hip releases towards the right heel. Breathe into the right side of the rib cage. Go ahead and walk back into the center. From here, hands walk back towards your body. We're gonna come into a tabletop position. So slide your knees under your hips. Bring your wrists under your shoulders. Fingers are spread really nice and wide. And on your inhale, belly softens. Sitting bones and crown of the head lift up just slightly. On the exhale, scoop the belly, gently round the spine, and just let your head hang. Couple more times. On the inhale, belly softens. If you have any low back pain, try to really press the tops of the feet and the shin bones down. That'll help stabilize your low back. On the exhale, scoop the belly up and in, round your spine, gaze towards your navel. Last time, inhale, belly softens. On the exhale, we're gonna gently round the spine and we're gonna hold here for a moment. So pressing the ground away from you with your hands, arms are nice and long. Back of the neck is really extending. Softly shake your head, yes. And then slowly shake your head, no. Bring your head to neutral, bring your spine to neutral. Now, tuck your toes and then press your hips one more time back towards your heels. And we're just gonna really softly rock side to side. So you might feel this a lot, although you probably haven't been wearing shoes quite as much as usual, but when we wear shoes a lot, we start to really compress our toes. So there might be a little bit of tension here, and just kind of feel it out. Don't force, just notice. If this is too much, all you do is bring some of the weight forward, so it's not as much intensity. One more breath. Come to the center, shift the weight back forward. Now from here, with the toes already tucked under, we'll lift the hips up and back into downward facing dog and just start to pedal out your feet. So one knee bends while the other heel softens towards the mat. And then gently shift sides, bending the opposite knee, other heel softens. Couple more times. Try to have your ears in line with your biceps. Try to roll your shoulders back and down so that you find space on the sides of your neck. Take a cleansing breath, deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Pedal out one more time each side until you're even. And then just come to a steady stance. So both feet are grounding. Try to let your heels soften, but they're not necessarily touching the earth. And then gently bend your knees and press your chest back towards your thighs, elongating through the sides of your body, lengthening through your arms. Whole hand is pressing into the mat. One more breath. With the knees still bent, we're gonna bend them a little bit more and just let your knees release to the mat. Untuck the toes, press back to child's pose, forehead melts to the mat, rock your hips side to side. Forehead and hips to neutral, hands walk back towards your body, come up to all fours, knees back under the hips. Take a moment and bring hips over to the left and crown of the head over to the right, rounding that side body. Come back to the center, take a deep inhale, exhale, opposite direction, hips to the right, crown of the head to the left. Come back to the center. From here, extend the right leg straight back, toes are on the mat for this first one. Rock back and forth, feel that deepening of stretching through the hamstring. Now, next time you press back, hold here for a moment. We're gonna press really firmly into your hands, navel to the spine, hover your left knee for just a moment here. Take an inhale here, exhale, press back into three-legged dog. Left leg extends into the air, right heel starts to soften towards the ground. I need to shift back for the camera. Hold here, one more breath. So right heel is grounding. All the toes on your left foot are facing the earth. One more breath. Left foot finds the ground, downward facing dog, pedal out your feet a couple times. Gently bend your knees, press back to child's pose. Knees will separate, big toes touch, melt towards the ground. Shoulders relax, so elbows bend here. Forehead releases fully into the support of the earth. Take a cleansing breath. Deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Softly start to walk the hands back towards your body. Come up to all fours, knees under the hips. Left leg extends straight back. Toes are on the mat, just rocking back and forth. Next time you press back through the heel, hold here for a moment. Start to draw the navel up and in. We're gonna hover the right knee above the mat, just starting to warm up the abdominals a little bit deeper. Take an inhale here. Exhale, kick that right leg straight back, three-legged dog. Pausing here for a moment. All of the right toes are facing the earth. Now start to let your left heel soften towards the ground, pressing the chest back towards that left thigh. Arms are nice and elongated. One more breath. And then release the right foot, downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet one more time. Now, bending both of your knees, look between your hands and step your feet to the top of the mat. So this might be several steps or it might be one large step, whatever feels good for your body. Grab opposite elbows, knees are fully bent here. Let your chest melt onto your thighs. Crown of the head is just dangling towards the ground. So neck is completely relaxed. Softly rock your spine side to side and try to have this action come from your hips. So you're not moving from the shoulders. It's not just the arms moving, it's your whole spine. Head is completely relaxed. One more breath. Come back to the center. Now grab opposite elbows the other direction. So other arm is on top. This one will feel a little different, a little weird maybe. That's okay. One more breath. Come back to the center. Release your arms. Press into your feet. Knees are going to bend. Grounding through your legs really strong. We're going to roll up to standing. So you're pressing into the feet the whole time. Once you come up, just take a moment here. Feet are grounded. We're going to roll the shoulders up and back. One more breath. Roll the shoulders up and back. From here, bend your knees. Gently release back into that forward fold. Head drops towards the ground really softly. Fingertips onto your shins. Press the legs away from you. Grow nice and long through your spine. Exhale, release back into your forward fold. We're going to place the hands down onto the ground and step back one foot at a time into a plank shape. Now from here, shift your weight forward so the wrists are just below the shoulders. Belly draws up and in. Spine is nice and elongated. Hold here for one more full breath. On your next exhale, release the knees. Knees will separate, big toes touch. Press back to child's pose. Melt through the crown of the head. Melt through the forehead. Let the whole head be heavy. Deep cleansing breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. One more time. Deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Walk the hands back towards the body. Press up to all fours, knees under the hips, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Now, on your next inhale, extend the right leg straight back behind you. Mindfully bend the knee. and open up that hip. So stacking the right hip on top of the left, create some circles with that thigh bone, and then circle the opposite direction. Close the hip back down and press back through that heel one more time. Take an inhale here, exhale, right knee to the right tricep. Inhale to press back through the heel. One more time, exhale, right knee to the right tricep. Inhale, press back through the heel. On the exhale, we're gonna bring the knee towards the nose and then step the foot all the way between the hands. Left knee finds the earth. If you need support, you can use a blanket for that left knee. Now we're gonna find a little bit of a flow here. So inhaling as you bend to the knee, exhale, draw the hips back and lengthen through that right leg. Again, inhale as you bend, exhale as you draw the hips back and lengthen. Two more, inhaling to come forward, exhaling to draw back. Last time, inhale as you bend. This time, exhale as you come back and hold here for a couple of breaths. So you might have blocks for this part of the flow. Again, if your hamstrings are super tight, you might need a little bit more support. So blocks are a great way to help support this action. Take one more breath with that spine nice and long, and then gently bend back into your right knee. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee away from the mat. Now left wrist under the left shoulder, right arm reaches forward, and then reach the palm up towards the sky. So from here, don't let your left leg drop back. Lift up through that left leg, super strong in that glute. We're gonna reach the right arm back behind you, down towards the ground, forward, up towards the sky, back behind you, and down towards the ground. Now, once you release back down to the ground, hand comes all the way down, release that left knee one more time. Shift your right foot over to the right hand on the inside of that right foot. Deepening the stretch through your hips here. Start to let the hips soften down just a tiny bit more. Take one more full breath. Now from here, tuck the left toes one more time. Lift that left knee, get super strong. Get really strong in your arms. Start to lift up through the shoulder blades, belly draws in, step back to plank and hold. Wrists under the shoulders, fingers are spread, nice and wide. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths, just pedaling out your feet. Now on your next inhale, left leg extends straight back. Softly bend the knee, we'll open up that left hip. We're gonna create circles with that thigh bone one direction. And then circle the opposite direction. We'll close the hip back down, press back through that heel, toes face the ground, take an inhale, exhale, left knee to the left tricep. Inhale to press back through the heel, exhale, left knee to the tricep. Inhale, press back one last time. This time, knee towards the nose, and then we'll step that foot all the way forward. So you might need to use your hands to help that leg forward, that's okay. Release the right knee down to the ground. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, draw the hips back and lengthen through your left leg, moving with your breath. Inhale, bending into the knee. Exhale, draw the hips back and lengthen. Two more times. Inhale as you bend forward, knee is in line with the ankle. Exhale, draw the hips back and lengthen. Last time. This time as you lengthen that left leg, we're gonna hold here. So shoulders roll back and down, try to elongate through your spine so we're not rounding through the back body here. We're reaching the chest towards your toes. Hold here just one more full breath, try to relax your neck. Gently bend back into your left knee, walk the hands forward, tuck the right toes. Right wrist under the right shoulder, left arm reaches forward, up towards the sky, back behind you, and down towards the ground. One more time, circling the arm forward, up, back, and down. When the hand comes back towards the ground, release the right knee one more time. Now inch left foot over to the left hand comes on the inside, and we're just letting the hips drop down just a bit here. Take one more full breath. Tuck the back toes, lift that back knee super strong through that right leg. Get strong through your arms. We're stepping back to plank and holding. Take one more full breath here, and then lift the hips, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths in down dog, pedal out your feet, shoulders roll back and down. Try to bring your chest closer towards your thighs. Ears are in line with the biceps. Take one more full deep breath. And then softly release your knees and press back to child's pose. Knees will separate, big toes touch, forehead releases towards the ground. Maybe you rock your hips side to side. Maybe you roll the forehead side to side. Play around and see what feels good for your body. But most importantly, check in with your breath. Make sure you're still breathing. Make sure you're still connected to your body. So if your mind is wandering, continually redirect back to your breath. Take 2 more full, expansive breaths here. Now start to walk the hands back towards your body. We're going to come back up to all fours, knees under the hips. This time we're going to just step the right foot between your hands. Maybe you have blocks, so maybe you have a little bit of support here. From here, we're going to shift to bring your hands onto that right thigh. So hands are going to press into that right leg, coming up nice and tall through your spine. Once you come up, try to have your shoulders in line with your hips here and just breathe here for a moment. Hands can also rest on that thigh. From here, we're going to start to press the hands into the thigh so that you're lengthening through your arms. Hold here 1 more breath. Right hand is going to slide outside that right hip. Left hand slides to the outside of that right knee. Let the hips soften just a bit here as you twist the chest to the right. Hold here 1 more full breath. Go ahead and release, come back to the center. Now, inhale, arms up towards the sky. On the exhale, bend the elbows, cactus the arms, press the chest forward. Try to lift from the pelvic floor here so there's some stability and support. Inhale, arms up towards the sky. On the exhale, fingertips find the ground. We're going to tuck the left toes, lift your left knee. Now, shifting into your right foot, left leg lifts into standing splits. Left hip is turned down. Left toes are facing the earth. Head releases towards the ground. Hold here for 3. And then go ahead and release. Left foot meets the right, forward fold. Fingertips to your shins. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, release all the way back down. Place the hands onto the ground, step back to plank. Now, if you like to move through vinyasa, maybe you do that here. Maybe you release your knees and then come into knees, chest, and chin. From here, you're gonna go ahead and release the pelvis, shoulders roll back and down. Inhale to peel the chest away. Exhale, lower. Using the strength of your arms, we'll press up to all fours, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. So if you're more familiar with yoga and you like to move through that vinyasa practice, you are welcome to take those opportunities whenever you like. Cleansing breath, in through your nose, out through your mouth. From here, just release your knees. We're coming back to all fours. Knees under the hips, wrists under the shoulders. This time, we're just gonna step your left foot forward between your hands. Take a moment here. Maybe hands are on the blocks first, and then we're gonna transition to bring hands onto your thighs. So left hand, then right hand. Press into the leg to come up and hold here for a moment. Once you come up, try to find shoulders in line with your hips and just breathe here for a moment. With hands onto your thigh, we're gonna press the hands into the thighs. So this is to help open up a little bit deeper through the chest. You're pressing in, so you're opening through this space. Hold here 1 more breath. Now from here, we're gonna bring left hand outside that left leg, right hand slides across that outer knee, gently twisting your chest to the left, holding here 1 more full breath. Softly release, come back to the center. Fingertips are gonna find, inhale, arms up towards the sky. Exhale, baby back bend, I almost forgot that part. Chest expands forward, shoulder blades draw together. Hips start to soften down, but there's a lifting from the pelvic floor. So you're lifting up from the ground. 1 more inhale here, and then gently release fingertips down to the ground. Now, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. We're gonna shift into your left foot, right leg lifts into standing splits. Hips are turned down, right toes are facing the ground, crown of the head is releasing towards the earth, grounding through that left foot. 1 more breath. Right foot meets the left, forward fold. Fingertips to the shins, inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale into your fold, place the hands down, step back. You can flow through vinyasa. So vinyasa would be shifting forward, lowering into chaturanga, inhaling into upward facing dog, shoulders roll back and down, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Or you can move through the modified version, releasing the knees, coming into a cobra, pressing up to all fours, and then meeting in downward facing dog. Cleansing breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth. One more full breath. Deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Release your knees. Knees will separate. Big toes touch. Press back to child's pose. Forehead melts. Take one more full, expansive breath in child's pose. And then walk the hands back towards your body. Once you come back to all fours, knees under the hips. Now, we're gonna tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, right leg extends straight back. Gently step the foot forward between the hands. Left wrist under the left shoulder, right arm reaches forward, up towards the sky, and then pause in this twist for just another breath. Left leg is super strong here. Hold one more breath. Right hand finds the ground. Now, start to squeeze the inner thighs in towards each other. You can modify by bringing your left knee to the ground. When you're ready, hands are gonna find that thigh, or we're just gonna come into a crescent lunge. So you don't have to use that leg for support if you don't need it. Inhaling, arms up towards the sky. Breathe here, one more full breath, fingertips up towards the sky. On the exhale, baby back bend. Bend the elbows, press the heart forward. Inhale, arms up towards the sky, hands to the heart on the exhale. Inhale as you hinge forward. On the exhale, left elbow is gonna slide outside that right knee. So coming into a little bit of a deeper twist here. So when you're here, you're trying to bring hands towards the heart center. You're trying to lift your heart space up towards the sky. Left leg is super strong. Lengthen through the crown of the head. One more breath. Come back to the center, fingertips down to the ground. Now release your left knee. Take an inhale here. Exhale, draw the hips back, lengthening through your right leg. You can hold here, or if you have a little bit more availability, maybe you start to slide that heel forward. So this could be a good option. Some mats are a little bit easier to slide forward on. You might also have hardwood floors or something, and you can kind of keep sliding. Now, this is not for most people. This is not accessible for most people. So this is just depending on how much availability you have in your hips. You can also use support here, so you can place blocks under your hips to give you a little bit more support. Take one more full breath here. Now mindfully start to draw the belly up and in, start to slide back with control. Come back to that half split if you went a little bit further. And then start to bend back into that knee, inch the right foot over to the right one more time, right hand on the inside. Breathe here for just a couple of breaths coming into this lizard variation. Now, same thing, if you have a little bit more availability, maybe you come onto your forearms. If that's available, that might be a lot. Maybe the forearms are on some support like a block. Just one more full breath here. Now, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Strong in the arms, belly draws in. We're gonna step back to plank. You can flow through that vinyasa or skip it and meet me in downward facing dog. Cleansing breath, deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. On your next inhale, left leg extends back, press through the heel, step your foot all the way forward between your hands. Pausing here for a moment, right wrist under the right shoulder, left arm reaches forward and up towards the sky, and then hold in this twist for just another full breath. Right leg is super strong and active, lengthening the sides of the neck, reaching through the left fingertips. Left hand is gonna find the ground. Now again, modify by bringing the right knee down, or hands can find this thigh, or belly draws in and just come into your crescent lunge. So glutes are working here. You're trying to activate through the glutes to help support your low back. So keep that in mind as we move through these positions. We're not overly squeezing or tensing, you're just utilizing the muscles. Take an inhale here, exhale, baby back bend. Heart extends forward, chest is open. Inhale, arms up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. On your inhale, hinge forward from the hips. On the exhale, right elbow slides outside that left knee. Once you're there, you're trying to use the connection point between your right elbow and your left outer knee to help stabilize you. You're squeezing the inner thighs in towards each other. 2 more breaths. Go ahead and bring hands back to the heart center, fingertips down to the ground. Right knee finds the ground. Take an inhale, exhale, draw the hips back and lengthen through that left leg. Now again, there's lots of options here. This side is gonna be different than the other side, so notice the differences. I always say try to hold back on your more flexible side, try to push a little more on your less flexible side, because we're trying to facilitate balance in the body, which is very elusive and it's always shifting and changing. So we're not forcing. If you went a little further on the other side, maybe you see what it feels like on this side, starting to slide that heel forward, using your breath as your guide. So if you're starting to hold your breath, it's too much. Using support if that helps you find a little bit more availability in your body. Haven't done this in a while, so it's feeling really super tight on this side, so I'm not gonna go any farther. Take one more full breath wherever you are. And then mindfully start to pull the belly and lift from the pelvic floor. We're gonna start to come back into that half split first, and then start to gently release, bending into that left knee. Left foot inches to the left hand comes on the inside of that leg. Now, you can stay here, or again, if you have a little bit more availability, maybe you come onto the forearms. Most important is connecting with your breath. Try to keep your inner left leg connected to your outer left arm so you're not just splaying out to the side. So finding some support for the flexibility. We don't want to just lean into our flexibility. We want to use the muscles to help support and create stability in the body. So it's not just about flexibility. We want to support the flexibility with strength. Take one more full breath wherever you are. If you're on the forearms, start to come back onto the hands. Now, tucking the right toes, lift the right knee away from the mat, engage through that right leg. Hands get really super strong. We're stepping back into plank. You can flow through that vinyasa or skip it. Cleansing breath in downward facing dog, in through the nose, out through the mouth. One more time, deep breath in, out through the mouth. Gently release your knees. Knees will separate, big toes touch, press back to child's pose. Forehead releases towards the ground. Elbows bend so your shoulders can melt. Maybe you even bring your hands into a prayer position behind your head. So palms come together, elbows stay grounded. Take one more full, expansive breath here. Release your arms. Gently walk the hands back towards your body. Come back up to all fours, knees under the hips. One more time. Hips move to the left, crown of the head to the right. Come back to the center, hips to the right, crown of the head to the left. Come back to the center. From here, we're gonna go ahead and come to a seated position and bring your legs towards the front of your mat. So take a moment, transitioning. As you come to seated, we'll extend your legs out in front of you and just shake them out for a second. We're gonna keep left leg out nice and long. Bending the right knee, we'll step the right foot across that outer left thigh. And first, just hug that knee into your chest, trying to use this as support to help lengthen up through the top of the head. Left foot is flexed, so left toes are flexing towards your face. Right hand is gonna press outside your right hip. Hugging the left knee into the chest, we're gonna twist the chest to the right. You can stay here, or if you wanna deepen this twist, you can bring that left elbow outside that outer right knee to help extend that twist a little bit further. You can gently look back over that right shoulder if that feels comfortable in your neck, or you can just look forward, whatever feels good. And if you're using your elbow, don't force, we're not jamming. So that's gonna create tension in your lumbar spine, which most of us already have enough of. So we're not forcing the twist. You're using your breath to flow into that twist. Go ahead and release, come back to the center. Now, from here, we're gonna slide the outside of the right ankle to the top of the left thigh. So just take a moment, start to relax through that outer right thigh. Both feet are flexed, and we're just gonna pause here for a moment. Inhale, arms up towards the sky. On the exhale, hinging from the hips, we'll bring the arms forward. You might not be able to reach the left toes, that's okay. Maybe you come and grab the front of that shin or the back of the leg, whatever feels good. So you take a moment, see how it feels. There should not be pain in your left knee. If there is, first of all, maybe bring the right leg a little higher up. If not, bend that left knee a bit, and then maybe just keep the hands on the ground to keep that bent knee. So you determine what feels good for your body. Hold here one more full breath. Go ahead and softly release, moving from the hips to come back up to the center. Right leg releases. Gently bend the left knee, left foot steps outside that right thigh. Foot is grounded if possible. If not, maybe there's a little bit of a lift. And then all we're doing first is hugging that knee into your chest, lengthening up through the crown of the head. Take one more inhale here. On the exhale, left hand reaches behind that left hip. Right arm hugs the knee into the chest to twist. As you twist to the left, you're lengthening through the spine and breathing deeply. Maybe you slide that right elbow outside the left knee. So again, the two sides of the body. So this side might feel different. Don't force the twist. We never want to jar our body into a twist. We just want to breathe into it. Maybe you look back over that left shoulder. Maybe head just gazes forward. Take one more breath. Go ahead and release, come back to the center. From here, slide that left ankle to the top of your right thigh so the ankle bone goes right off of the side of the thigh. Flexing both of your feet. Maybe the arms reach up towards the sky. Maybe hands are down to help support your back. When you're ready, we're hinging forward. So you determine what feels good for your body. So both feet are flexed and active. Spine is elongating, so you're not collapsing or rounding the spine. We're lengthening the chest forward. And then focus on your breath. So trying to breathe a little bit deeper. Take one more full breath here. And then go ahead and move from your hips to come back up to the center. From here, go ahead and gently release, extend the legs out, hands by the hips. Shake your legs out for a moment. And then we're gonna bend the knees and place the feet flat on the mat. Gently release the knees to the right and gaze over the left, trying to twist the chest to the left just a bit. Belly draws in, come back to the center, take an inhale. Exhale, opposite direction, knees to the left, twist the chest to the right just a bit. Gently draw the belly in, come back to the center. We're gonna go ahead and lower back down onto your back. So you can gently roll back down, or if you need support, use your hands. Hands can also find the back of your thighs, rolling back down, however it feels comfortable. Once you're here, keep the knees bent, feet flat on the mat, but walk the feet closer towards your glutes. Toes are facing forward, feet are hip distance, hands down by your hips. We're gonna press the hands and feet into the earth. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, pressing the feet into the ground will lift the hips up. So the action of lifting the hips comes from pressing the earth away from you. Maybe you roll the shoulders underneath your body and clasp the hands if that's available. If not, just keep the hands grounded. The other option is to bend the elbows and reach the fingertips up towards the sky, and then you press the upper arm bones into the mat to help create a little bit more of a back bend here. So do what feels good for your body. Feet are firmly rooting. Breathing here for 2 more full breaths. Now we're going to slowly unroll the shoulders and then softly release your spine all the way back down. Once you come down, separate the feet a little wider and just windshield wiper side to side. Take 1 more full breath here, just windshield wiper the spine. Come back into the center, walk the feet back to hip distance. Hug the knees into the chest and rock side to side, just massaging through your back. Take 1 more breath here. Come to the center, circle the knees away from each other. And then circle the opposite direction. And then maybe you bring soles of the feet together, knees out wide. Maybe you come to happy baby if that's available. Knees are bent, feet up towards the sky. You can rock side to side if that feels good on your back, or you can just stay still. Maybe you play around with extending one leg at a time and just notice how that feels. It's not a necessity, but it's just an option. Maybe you extend both legs out depending on the availability in your hips. Take 1 more breath wherever you are. And then really softly start to bend the knees and then hug the knees back into the chest and just rock side to side. From here, we're gonna come to an inversion. So coming back into the center, just extend your feet up towards the sky. So shoulder blades are grounded, feet are reaching up towards the sky, legs are in line with your hips, but your hips are just settling back towards the support of the ground. Couple of breaths here. Maybe you circle your ankles. Maybe you circle the opposite direction. And then press up through the toes and then up through the heel, back and forth a few times, up through the toes, up through the heels. One more breath. And then just let your feet relax and just pause here. Couple of breaths in this gentle inversion. Hands can come underneath your head if you want a little bit of support. So play around and see what feels good for your body. Just another breath or two here. And then go ahead and bend the knees. Knees back into the chest, rock side to side. Come back to the center, place your feet down onto the ground one at a time. Knees bent, feet flat, feet are about hip distance. Arms can come out wide, or I like to actually bring my hands and clasp them behind my head. Take a deep inhale here. On the exhale, let your knees just fall to the right, coming into one more spinal twist. So if this feels uncomfortable for your back, you can place something between your legs, or you can go not quite as deep, where the legs come in a little bit more. See how that feels? Or maybe the legs separate a little bit more, depending on what your availability is like. The other option, if you want more intensity here too, you can wrap the left leg around the right, and that's gonna deepen that twist. We did do several twists, so you might have the availability to do that. Take a cleansing breath. Deep breath in through the nose, out through your mouth. One more time. Deep breath in through the nose, out through your mouth. If the legs are wrapped, first unwrap the legs. Gently bring feet back to neutral, feet on the ground, knees up towards the sky. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, twisting the legs to the left. So again, the legs can be separated, or maybe right leg wraps around the left if that feels accessible for your back, not forcing yourself into a twist. Shoulders are melting into the ground. Jaw is completely soft. Take a cleansing breath. Deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. One more time. Deep breath in, out through the mouth. Now we're gonna unwrap the legs first. Feet are gonna find the ground, and we're gonna gently press into the ground, knees back up towards the sky. Last time, we're just gonna separate the feet, windshield wiper side to side. Arms are gonna release down by the sides of your body. Come back to the center with the legs once you're even. We're gonna bring left hand onto the belly, right hand onto the heart, and all I want you to do here is close your eyes and start to focus on your breath. So breathing into the belly, exhaling, let your whole body melt. A couple more breaths, just breathing into the belly. Exhaling, let the whole body melt. I want you to notice if you can feel your heart beating underneath your right hand. Feel the back of your head melting into the ground. Take one more full, expansive breath here. Now, if you have any low back issues, you can stay like this. If you want to come into our full Shavasana, maybe you extend your legs out long one at a time. Hands can stay on your body, or rest your arms down by the sides of your body and just let your whole body melt. Start to focus on relaxing. So relaxing the soles of the feet, the ankles, relaxing the lower leg, the knees, relaxing the upper legs, the hips, the whole back body, the whole front of the torso, the sides of the body. Relax across the tops of the shoulders, gently down the upper arms, the elbows, the lower arms, the wrists, the hands. Relax the entire face. Soften your jaw, soften your eyes. Let go of the control of your breath and just allow your whole body to rest. Let the breath flow naturally. Every exhale allows your body to relax a little bit more deeply. As you stay in this restful state, I am going to simply play a singing bowl to help deepen the state of relaxation in your body. So just finding that stillness and staying in that state of stillness. As you start to hear the vibration of the sound, imagine that vibration is flowing through your whole body, bringing you into a deeper state of softening. Notice where you feel the vibration in your body. Just allowing that vibration to move through every cell. Start to notice the flow of your breath. Allowing the breath to naturally deepen. Start to sense the gentle rise and fall of your belly, the expansion in the rib cage. Just noticing your whole body in this rested state. Take a cleansing breath, deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Softly begin to wiggle your fingers, wiggling the toes. Maybe start to circle the wrists and ankles. Gently begin to roll the back of your head side to side. If you would like a full body stretch, you can reach the arms back behind you, lengthening the sides of the body. As you feel ready, we'll hug the knees into the chest and gently roll onto your side and just rest there for a few breaths. Eyes are still soft, face is relaxed. As you rest on your side in this fetal position, take a cleansing breath, deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. With your eyes still closed, begin to press your top hand into the ground, using the strength of your arms to come back to a seated position. Just giving yourself a moment to ground the sitting bones into the earth. Start to relax the knees. Begin to lengthen through your spine. Shoulders melt. Face is completely soft. Notice any shifts or changes that may have taken place from the beginning of the practice until now. We'll bring our hands together in front of your heart center. Let the thumbs press in towards your sternum, feeling that connection. Chin relaxes towards your chest. Take another cleansing breath. Deep breath in through the nose, out through your mouth. Take a moment of gratitude for your body. Gratitude for this practice. Gratitude for your breath. Just feeling this deeper connection between the mind, the body, the soul. Allowing the connection to remain with you as you move off of your mat and into the rest of your day. Thank you for allowing me to be your guide. I honor the light that is present within each and every one of you. Namaste.